We have seen an absolute explosion of real-world assets coming onto the XRP Ledger over the last few months. We're about to take the fourth spot away from BNB at $4 billion. The next stop? Provenance in Ethereum. So, when will that happen? I've got some new information to show you. We also have massive updates regarding the DTCC and their app chain. Will the XRP Ledger be able to plug into this thing? Guys, we are talking about 3.7 quadrillion in trades, and we want to make sure we get a slice. We have information from Brad Garlinghouse, insights from Nadine Chaker, and a ton of other recent updates for XRP in this video. Let's get it, guys! We are recording this on Sunday afternoon for your Monday morning. Please support the content, it goes a long way. Your likes, your comments, I love them all. I appreciate you. Let's get right into it. X-Finance Bull just broke some massive news. Over $2 billion in electricity is now tokenized on the XRP Ledger. Let that sink in. Not crypto, not DeFi yield, electricity. Real energy, real economic value running on the XRP infrastructure. Just Carbon has turned real-world electricity production into a digital financial asset living on the XRP Ledger. We're talking about physical energy flowing through power grids, being represented, traded, and settled on the exact same blockchain that powers XRP. This is why every single XRP holder needs to understand what this means for token demand. Every single transaction on the XRP Ledger requires XRP for fees. Issuing tokens, moving them, trading them, settling them, managing them. Each action burns a fraction of XRP. $2 billion in tokenized electricity generates constant, measurable transactional demand. Every new account requires XRP reserves. More companies, more brokers, more settlement accounts, more wallets holding tokenized energy. Each one locks up XRP just to exist on the ledger. Trust lines lock additional XRP. $2 billion in tokenized assets means thousands of trust lines and thousands of reserve requirements. And as this energy gets traded and settled, XRP sits right at the center of the liquidity routes. The native DEX on the ledger means these tokens can be exchanged using XRP as a bridge asset. Payment paths, exchange routes, settlement layers, all flowing through XRP. This isn't just a partnership announcement. This is $2 billion in real-world commodity value creating ongoing demand for XRP. Just Carbon just paved the way at the $2 billion scale. Trillions are incoming. Now, I saw a post from Chad Steingraber that really caught my eye. According to him, Just Carbon has crossed $3.7 billion in real-world assets issued directly on the XRP Ledger. He pulled this from a recent article stating that the JMH token has grown into one of the largest single assets on the XRPL, crossing the $3.75 billion threshold. Now, when we track this live on the XRP Ledger, it still shows $2,229 billion. But if it does hit that $3.75 billion mark, that would be absolutely insane. They would dwarf any other company tokenizing on the XRPL, including Ripple and Ondo. It would kick us right in front of BNB, and we'd be looking back saying, "Thank you so much, BNB, you'll never catch us again." From there, we knock on Provenance's door, take their spot, and then Ethereum, we are coming for you. That is absolutely going to happen, and I cannot wait to make that video. We also got some major intel from Smokedog. CME and Nasdaq are set to launch XRP index futures trading on June 8th. What does this mean? Let's break it down. The CME Group is the world's largest and most important derivatives exchange. Through its partnership with Nasdaq, CME is bringing institutional capital to altcoins via the regulated futures market. This provides professional investors with a single regulated contract for diversified exposure to digital assets. Ahead of the June 8th live trading, the CME Group is making a massive operational shift. Starting May 29th, they are moving their cryptocurrency futures and options trading to an always-on 24/7 schedule. This is a deliberate step to match the 24/7 nature of digital assets. Traditional finance is finally catching up. This is also a major step for the institutional integration of ISO 2022 compliance. Remember, the tokens themselves aren't ISO compliant. It's the payment systems, like RippleNet, that are compliant, and XRP flows across them. As June 8th approaches, market participants are waiting for the regulatory green light from the CFTC. The CFTC has been paving the way for crypto adoption, so I'd imagine this gets greenlit soon. This data is sourced directly from CME and Nasdaq reports, not just made up by crypto bros. Smokedog did a great job digging this up. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Now let's talk about Nasdaq, CME, DTCC, and Ripple. Nasdaq's initial tokenization effort is deliberately structured to avoid disrupting the core trading ecosystem. Instead of fragmenting liquidity, all activity stays on Nasdaq's core order book, preserving price-time priority, Reg NMS compliance, and existing institutional workflows. From a front-office perspective, nothing changes. The real innovation sits entirely in the post-trade layer. Compliance is a massive deal. To us, it's boring. To a financial institution, it is everything. Without KYC and AML, the SEC would be knocking on their door immediately. That's exactly why Ripple has built robust compliance features directly into the base layer of the XRP Ledger. This approval builds on the DTCC's exemptive relief framework, keeping everything on a T+1 settlement timeline. Eventually, firms will be able to dynamically choose settlement pathways based on their funding needs. This tokenized model will drastically reduce back-office costs, improve collateral mobility, and enable shorter duration financing like intraday and hourly repo. Guys, the repo market is a 9 trillion market. Trillions flow daily. Tapping into that is highly significant for XRP holders. Now I want to shift focus specifically to the DTCC. I know it sounds dry, but this is where the magic happens. 3.7 quadrillion in settlement. It doesn't get bigger than that. The DTCC's interoperable collateral platform will include multiple L1s and L2s. The XRP Ledger is pre-approved for the DTCC. This $114 trillion multi-chain tokenization experiment is kicking off in the second half of 2026. It starts in July, and by October, it is going to be running full blast. Here is Nadine Chaka from the DTCC breaking down exactly why this is so important. We're laying out some of the most innovative technology out there. It takes a village, and we're working with different L1s and L2s to ensure clients can seek the liquidity they need on the chains most appropriate for their use cases. We call this the Great Collateral Experiment. Our ambition someday is to tokenize all 100 trillion. We're starting small with Russell 1000 ETFs, treasuries, and fixed income. But the real so what is up to our clients. There are loads of DeFi instruments they can invest in, reducing costs and managing capital at the speed of the network. This is all about reducing friction, lowering costs, and instant settlement. The most powerful and liquid blockchains are going to win here. You can't just automatically plug into the DTCC system. It takes years of testing. You have to be invited in, and Ripple has a seat at the table. This isn't just a rumor on X anymore. It's out in the open. Ripple Prime is one of the 50 participants in the DTCC working group, sitting right alongside JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and Morgan Stanley. We are going to see a lot of NDAs turn into massive public announcements soon, especially if the Clarity Act gets passed in June and signed into law in July. Make sure you're subscribed, because I bring you updates on that every single day. Now, listen to Brad Garlinghouse saying the quiet part out loud about this multi-chain future. Things like bond settlement are slow, arcane, and absurd in the age of the internet. It's only a matter of time before bond settlement moves on-chain. Could Ripple catalyze that using the XRP Ledger? Fabulous. But I don't want to leave people with the impression it won't be a multi-chain world. The XRP Ledger is exceptionally good at some things and not good at others, and that's by design. We have an amazing infrastructure for certain use cases, so let's invest and go after those things. He's talking about Ethereum, Solana, Chainlink, XLM, and of course the XRP Ledger. They all have roles to play. You'll also see EVM-compatible chains like Base and Linea become huge, meaning the XRPL could easily plug into those ecosystems. Ripple is one of the 50 participants in these Phase 2 developments. We will just have to see how it plays out, but XRP is positioned to play a massive role. Next up, 13F forms. These are the quarterly reports hedge funds file with the SEC. We are starting to see banks and institutions holding XRP ETFs. Having this ETF wrapper is a game changer. When you have $60 to $70 trillion in the stock market and investors can suddenly buy XRP through a stock wrapper, watch out. Once investors lock in their Bitcoin and Ethereum, they will go hunting for the next big thing. And that thing is XRP. Look at this. A firm managing $800 million Snowball just quietly added XRP to their portfolio, alongside host U.S. wealth advisors holding Bitcoin ETFs, Nvidia, Tesla, and now Bitwise. We love to see it. Furthermore, while XRP sits below its all-time high, Ripple's infrastructure is seeing aggressive adoption. Look at Ripple Prime. The firm just tripled its revenue in the first 12 months. Over 60 million transactions and $3 trillion cleared annually. Ripple has survived multiple cycles, won the SEC case with XRP ruled a commodity, secured major bank partnerships, and executed major acquisitions. The fundamentals have never been stronger. Just a side note, if you're wondering what's going on with Flare, I just sat down with Hugo last week. We broke the hour-long interview into 3 spicy portions, rolling out on the channel this Tuesday. Keep an eye out for that. Finally, Chad Steingraber highlighted that Ripple has the momentum and financial licensing to expand globally. Look at the Arab bank adoption. Zan Bank in the UAE is using Ripple's infrastructure for cross-border settlement. Riyadh Bank in Saudi Arabia partnered with Ripple for digital asset custody and tokenization. Qatar National Bank is utilizing XRP-backed transfers. RAK Bank and National Bank of Fujairah are streamlining international transfers. This isn't just a US phenomenon. It's the UAE, Africa, the UK, the EU, Australia, Japan, South Korea, Brazil, Mexico, and Canada. The pattern is undeniable. All right, that was a weird dance I just did right there. I don't know what that was. I just drank a frappuccino, and I think the sugar is getting to me. But one last thing. Market maker Flow Traders, one of the largest liquidity providers in the space, is now holding multiple XRP ETF positions, according to a newly surfaced SEC filing. It is just one massive piece of news after another, guys. It's all over the timeline right now. Listen, I'm going to wrap this video up. Thank you so much for supporting this content with a like, and I look forward to reading your comments down below. Make sure you're paying close attention over the next few weeks. We have a lot of content coming out to keep you up to date with everything in the crypto space. It is an honor to spend this time with you. As always, I'm Crypto Sensei. Have a great week ahead.